Vikings, let's win this game. SKOL!
Attention Vikings fans, today the field in Minnesota is buzzing with updates that are sure to shake things up. First, despite being present at minicamp, a recent update about Christian Darrisaw has Kevin O'Connell worried, and it's news that Vikings fans won't like. Next, a preseason NFC North selection highlights two giants clearly standing out in the division. This is sparking trash talk from both sides. Plus, some guys need to step up to give coordinator Brian Flores a respectable unit, and one defender is turning heads and promises to completely reshape the defense. And finally, a big question still looms over the Vikings. What's going on? Let's dive into the news. Welcome. Show your Viking support by reaching 100 thumbs up on today's video. When we think about resilience and dedication, few players exemplify it better than Christian Darrisaw. After the devastating anterior cruciate ligament injury in October last year, all eyes were on the potential return of our essential left tackle. In recent weeks, optimists, and yes, I'm including myself here, started picturing Darrisaw lining up as early as Week 1 against the Chicago Bears. However, a recent revelation from Alec Lewis of The Athletic threw a bucket of cold water on our hopes. Lewis, who has deep connections with the team, shared 45 valuable observations about our offensive players, and when it came to Darrisaw, he described the forecast for his Week 1 return as overly optimistic. According to him, will he be back in time for Week 1? That's probably an optimistic expectation at this point, though Darrisaw has been intensely dedicated to his recovery. The Vikings have praised his progress, Lewis noted. This information sharply contrasts with the recent momentum. Paul Allen, the voice of the Vikings, just last month believed Darrisaw was on track to return at the start of the season. But the difference between participating in minicamp and facing live action in the regular season is like night and day. This brings us to the importance of contingency planning. Fortunately, General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and head coach Kevin O'Connell have a plan B. Justin SKOL, now affectionately called Justin SKOL, was brought in from free agency and seems more than capable of holding the line until Darrisaw's return. SKOL, who had an admirable performance with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last season, might not only fill the gap, but also bring valuable insights about Tampa's running game to the Vikings. Not to mention Donovan Jackson, the Vikings' first-round pick, who played as a tackle for the Ohio State Buckeyes during the final stretch of their victorious championship run in 2024. What does this mean for the Vikings? The uncertainty around Darrisaw puts extra pressure on the offensive line, which is considered the fourth best this year by FTN Fantasy. However, the ability to adapt and the proactive measures taken by management show that we're ready to face challenges. This is a crucial moment for the team, and every game, every week, will be a test until Darrisaw can return to the field. Optimism still runs through the fan base, but always with one foot in reality. The next piece of news is about two Vikings who shine in the NFC North preseason selection. In a dazzling display of talent and chemistry on the field, the Minnesota Vikings wide receivers proved why they're a force to be reckoned with. In the latest 2025 NFC North preseason ranking, the Vikings didn't just stand out, they dominated the selection. Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison put the league on notice, emerging as the division's most formidable duo. Justin Jefferson's rise is undeniable. Jefferson, already famous for his phenomenal skills and ability to make impossible catches look routine, is heading into 2025 with a spectacular season on the horizon. With 1,500 yards expected and about 100 receptions, he's poised to add another 10 touchdowns to his impressive career. With a healthy T.J. Hawkinson and the chaotic presence of Rondale Moore, covering Jefferson becomes increasingly tricky for opponents. When considering the competition, Amon-Ra St. Brown of the Detroit Lions and DJ Moore of the Chicago Bears also earned significant recognition. But the real question is, who can actually compete with Jefferson? St. Brown has proven to be a centerpiece for the Lions, and Moore is projected to have a revitalized season thanks to a better articulated offensive game plan by the Bears. On the other side, Jordan Addison, despite off-field concerns that include a possible trial for driving under the influence, deserves credit where it's due. His performance as the second receiver is nothing short of spectacular, even surpassing expectations with 9 touchdowns last season. The narrative here goes beyond stats and awards. This recognition is a testament to the Vikings' strategic acumen on and off the field, developing and retaining game-changing talent. Jefferson and Addison's ability to disorient opposing defenses not only elevates their own careers, but also makes the Vikings' offensive scheme a multi-dimensional threat. As the Vikings gear up for the new season, it's increasingly clear that the team's aerial arsenal could be the ultimate trump card in their quest for the title. While turning opponents into mere spectators, the Vikings are ready to make 2025 a legendary year in NFC North history. Heads up, because what's coming next is another rising player who's going to surprise opponents on the field. This offseason, the Minnesota Vikings made significant moves to reshape their defense, particularly in the secondary. One name that's been echoing through the hallways and gaining attention is Theo Jackson, the apparent successor to Cam Bynum at the safety position, and he's not alone. The arrival of cornerbacks Jeff Okudah and Isaiah Rodgers is redefining expectations. Isaiah Rodgers' story is noteworthy, capturing the attention of not just fans, but also analysts. Kevin Seifert of ESPN recently pointed to Rodgers as the Vikings' off-season surprise. In one practice, Rodgers impressed by intercepting a pass and showcasing remarkable speed as a kickoff returner, solidifying his position as a rising star. Before joining the Vikings, Rodgers had a turbulent journey, including time with the Philadelphia Eagles where he shined in a supporting role, contributing to a Super Bowl victory. However, his path wasn't without hurdles, facing a suspension for involvement in gambling that nearly derailed his career. Rodgers isn't just making an impact on defense, but is also seen as a key piece in special teams. Thanks to his in-game quickness, special teams coordinator Matt Daniels is seriously considering using Rodgers as a returner for both punts and kickoffs. The idea is to maximize his exceptional skills, though this comes with debates about the risk versus reward of exposing such a valuable defender to potential injuries. The arrival and emerging performance of Rodgers and others add a new dimension to the Vikings' defense. Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator, now has new tools to build a respectable unit that can keep the Vikings competitive against the NFL's increasingly sophisticated offenses. The successful integration of players like Rodgers, who bring both talent and versatility, is crucial. If they can stay healthy and quickly adapt to Flores' schemes and demands, this defense has the potential not just to surprise, but to dominate. As the new season approaches, all eyes will be on this transformed group, especially Rodgers, whose ability to change the course of a game will be vital to the Vikings' aspirations in 2025. The next update brings a big question being discussed by analysts today about the Vikings. As the regular season nears, all eyes are turning to a vital figure for the Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy. The young quarterback holds the team's future in his hands, and expectations are sky high. But one question lingers. Is McCarthy truly ready to lead? Selected in the first round of the 2024 draft, McCarthy saw his rookie season cut short by a meniscus injury. Now recovered, he faces the challenge of stepping into the QB1 role, a test not just of his physical skills, but also of his mental game and leadership. The pressure is amplified by the fact that the Vikings invested $357 million in their roster for 2025, aiming to build a team capable of contending for the Super Bowl. Journalist Alec Lewis, in an analysis for The Athletic, questioned whether McCarthy's floor is high enough for a team so loaded with talent. The concern is valid, considering McCarthy's limited game experience and the notoriously high caliber of NFL opponents. The Vikings are loaded, Lewis says, pointing to stars like Justin Jefferson and the newly added veteran energy on defense with Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. McCarthy's preparation involves more than just learning plays. He needs to adapt quickly to the pace and intensity of the NFL. His coach, Kevin O'Connell, known for his ability to shape quarterbacks, has the task of ensuring McCarthy can translate his potential into consistent on-field performance. How will McCarthy perform under real pressure and against adaptive NFL defenses? If McCarthy can overcome these hurdles and prove his worth, he has the chance to lead the Vikings to a memorable season. With weapons like Jefferson, Addison, and Hawkinson by his side and a bolstered defense, the stage is set for McCarthy to not only grow but thrive. Expectations are high, and the answer McCarthy provides will not only define the 2025 season, but could also mark the start of a promising era for the Vikings. So, Vikings Nation, feeling the ground shake beneath your feet, is a test of true loyalty. From doubts about Darisaw to the rise of new defensive stars, every challenge is a chance to overcome. And as for McCarthy, his journey has everyone's attention. Which piece of news caught your eye the most? And what other moves does the team still need to make? Your passion, energy, and loyalty are the heartbeat of Vikings Nation. So, let's keep that energy going. Share this video, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button for all the latest Vikings updates. Stay tuned, SKOL Vikings, let's go!